You ready to go for a ride, Dodger? I don't show a lot of the time, like us going into town. Usually we're out in nature. That's pretty much all you see here on the Got Out channel. But we got a good errand day today, so I figured I'd show you guys every little thing we're gonna do, every little technique we have, and maybe give you guys some ideas. You guys put down in the comments, what you think I'm doing wrong or what I can do more efficiently. My lifestyle, I don't like to spend too much time in the city. I've done the city thing. I get it. Like, I get what goes on in there. And, I do like the city, but I prefer spending my time in the outdoors. So that's almost always my main goal, is just get back out into nature. Get back out into nature. And to do that, we do have to go into town to get supplies. Like you're going to see us do today. We're going to pick up some packages. Yeah. You want to go? You want to go? So first things first, what I did was I leave a light on in here. In this case, I'm going to close all my windows. A lot of times I'll leave a few windows open just so when I come back, it's kind of fresh in there. But it's so dusty here and windy, and these kind of dust devils keep coming up through here. So dust is just going to be blowing into the trailer constantly while I'm gone. So I close all the windows, leave a light on, and then also in this case, I turned off the fridge, which I do a lot of times when I leave the trailer for an extended period of time. And if you guys have watched my videos lately, you've seen I've had issues with leaks up here. I think I have it temporarily fixed for now, but just as a safety measure, especially when I leave the dogs, like when I go out on a hike, then I turn off the propane. So then when I'm out and about, it doesn't really matter how long I'm gone. I don't have to worry about anything going on with the propane, and that's just kind of peace of mind. And then I leave the light on in there just in case someone wants to break in or something. Then I feel like they'll come by, they'll see a light on, they'll just assume somebody's in there and they won't mess with my stuff. In this case, I have a really good campsite. It's a little bit set back off the road. So people aren't really going to want to drive in here and steal stuff because they'll get blocked if, I come back. And they don't want to be here, when I get back. For right now, I'm going to leave the water pump on, which I always turn the water pump off. When I go on a hike even, I always turn the water pump off in the trailer, because if something goes wrong with one of the hoses in there, then the pump will just automatically kick on. Like if there's a leak, if a leak springs, the pump will kick on and just start pumping water, and you'll lose all your water. But in a lot of cases, all that water will be spread out inside your trailer, making a huge mess. So I always turn the water pump off if I'm going to be away from an extended period of time. But right now I'm going to leave it on because I have a few chores I want to do real quick here in camp that are going to get my hands kind of dirty, which they're already really dirty. But then that way I'll be able to wash my hands before I get back in the truck and head directly into town. It's not really Dodger's favorite thing to go into town. He's not as excited about getting in the truck as he used to be. Back in the day, man, he would just hop right up in there. Of course, now I have to lift him and I have to encourage him. Come on, let's go. We're going to go for a ride. So one of our major chores we're going to do is get water. So I have several of these 1 gallon jugs. Plus I got 4 6 gallon jugs in here to fill up. I have plenty of water right now. There's only 3 gallons left in the truck, but I filled up the trailer with all those 6 gallon jugs. So the trailer is pretty much full of water. Since I'm already going into town to get groceries and pick up some Amazon packages, I might as well fill up on water with my empty tanks that I got here in the truck. So that's one of the things I want to do. Also, I'll be able to dump my garbage. So I have my garbage is in here, food garbage, banana peels, and then empty containers like cottage cheese containers, paper towels, stuff like that I've used. And then this is dog poop. And I keep that outside because it'll stink up inside the truck. But I'll be able to dump all my garbage, which is freaking awesome. It's amazing how much garbage I accumulate just as a single person. Let me load up the dogs, get the dogs loaded up. And then I got these covers here on the windows, which I always use these things. I got one for the side window, and I got a big one here for the front window. Echo up. Oh wait, Echo, come here. Come here. Come here. Come on, first. Come. In this site, yeah, stay. He really wants to go. He loves going in the truck. Dodger's already waiting back at the trailer. He's like, let's go inside the trailer. And I could leave Dodger in the back. You see how much dust is coming off of him? This place is filthy. Stay. So I try to get as much off as I can. But the truth is, he's super dusty still. Yeah, we're gonna go for a ride. Do you wanna go for a ride? We'll go for a ride in the truck. So this guy, I really have to encourage nowadays to get in the truck. And he's not as dusty. Good boy. I got some stuff on his seat right now because there's a task I want to do before we hit the road. There you go. Can you stay right there? This front. I gotta close the door so he doesn't like fall out accidentally. Almost always before I take off in the truck is I pop the hood and I look under here. You can see I got these packets. The only reason that I am checking under the hood is basically for mice, because I have had issues in the past. Luckily, the problem doesn't occur too frequently, and I'm pretty good about checking in here in the engine every couple days. I should really check it every day. But these still smell pretty strong. I've replaced them after a few months. So these are about probably a month old now. I got one jammed up there in that corner and one jammed up there in that corner. If you guys use our links down in the description, I'll pin it in the comment too. You can pick these up. I do like them. I think they do help. I can't guarantee anything because I have used one at a time and still had mouse issues. Now that I have 3 in here, I haven't had any issues. And right now, like, it's kind of hard for me to breathe. It's just cinnamon and peppermint. So they smell kind of good, but it's really strong. So I'm actually breathing it in right now. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of strong. So I'm just doing a quick check just to make sure I don't have any like rat nests up here, because I don't want to be driving down the road and then realize, oh, I had a bunch of mice in here that I didn't know about. You know what? You see that? See all these little dots? Those have got to be footprints, yeah. Yep, and then right here. See those? Yeah. So I do have some spray that will keep them out of here as well. Yeah, see, this is why I check. This is why I check. And I don't see any droppings in here. So they could just run up in here and then take off. But look, yep, there's more little spots up here. You can see how the dust really helps. So I try to leave the dust untouched. That way I can see what's going on in here. I find that really helps. Now right now I don't see, well, it does look like there's a dropping right there. Let's see if we can get a shot of that there. It does look like there's a dropping right there. So I get rid of that. I know you guys are going to be like, don't touch it, but I'm going to wash my hands before I take off. So, okay, so that's exactly why I do it. So now I know what's going on. When I get back in here into camp, I'm going to have to do something about that. That's really interesting. Yeah, and now I can see spots, little paw prints up here. Going down here. They're running all over here. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a common nomad problem. So I do have spray by the same manufacturer, and it's the same kind of thing, peppermint and cinnamon. And they, that's safe for the dogs. So that's one reason I like to use that stuff. Plus, it doesn't stink. So I can give the truck a good spray when I get back. Well, there you go. I mean, that's just the way it is. I'm actually really bummed to see that mouse evidence. That is a real bummer. Now I do have traps, you know, I have snap traps and live traps. So I might mess around with those a little bit. You know, only seeing one dropping, I think that's a good sign. Okay, I'm going to do an episode for you guys at some point in the future about pumping up your tires. I have some good systems for it, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I just want to add some more air to my truck tires because I think they're actually fine, but I want to just experiment with a little bit more pressure in them. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'll edit this real quick so you don't have to watch me do this. Usually I would do this, you know, early in the morning when the tires are cold. But since it's overcast, all the tires are going to be basically the same temperature. So they'll have equal, you know, pressure as I add air into them. And this just plugs into the cigarette lighter. That's why I'm using this. And then we're going to get on the road. See, that says rear 46. And one tip is with these little caps, make sure you don't have a little pebble inside the cap when you screw it back on. Because out here in this kind of dirt and dust and stuff, it's really easy for that to happen. If you guys want to use the same gear that I use, I got this pressure gauge right here. This works really good. It's pretty cheap too. Got this on Amazon. Check out the links in the pinned comment and the description. And you can get the air pump that I use. And I have some really good tips for pumping up your tires that we'll get into in a different video. But man, tires is one of the most important things. You want to know how to patch your tires, repair them, you know, mount them, have a spare, and keep them aired up. As a nomad, tires are like everything. Now, so everything's good out here. I don't have to worry about wind while I'm gone or anything like that. I'm gonna go inside and wash my hands. And I actually had forgotten to turn off the fridge in there. Now it's off. So nothing's running off of propane. I don't have to worry about propane at all while I'm gone. I got a light on. And I'm gonna lock up the trailer. And of course, you know, the hitch is locked. It does have a lock on there. So I don't have to worry too much, you know, about someone taking the whole trailer. I don't know why they'd want to. That's probably one of the advantages of having an older trailer. Nobody is like, oh, he's got really good stuff in there, or it's a nice trailer, I want to steal the whole trailer. It's like you're just stealing a bunch of problems. That's one of my good tips for you guys is have 2 sets of keys. So the truck's running right now, warming up with the other set of keys, and then I got a spare set right here. So you know, if you lose one, then you got a spare set, but mainly just so you can do 2 things at once. You'll have your truck running and you'll be all hooked up and everything, and you want to get back here and you don't want to have to turn off the truck every time you go back and forth like that. Hey, what do you guys think of my hair? What happened was, actually it's fine, like I don't mind it too much. But I did the sides, it was late at night and it was dark outside. And so I was shaving my hair out there, and then the bugs started biting me. So I stopped my haircut, so I never even got to the top. It's a real nomad haircut. It's very, very authentic. I got the dogs in here now. You know, I don't have to take the dogs with me when I do something like this. In this case, I'm going to be gone probably a couple hours, and that's really why I'm taking them. You know, Dodger, I don't like to leave him alone for more than 2 hours, basically, nowadays. But we're going to hit the road. I'm not going to bore you guys with a bunch of road footage. You know what that looks like. Edna sent us a donation, and so she got us a couple parts that we really need, and I'll do a video later of us installing those parts. So thank you, Edna, so much. There's a lot of you guys out there helping us out and sending us donations through PayPal and stuff like that, and signing up for our memberships. And I'll give you guys all shout outs at some point in the future. I got a lot of shout outs to give. Well, I did something kind of stupid. I picking up an Amazon package, and I didn't use my usual location. It's a pickup counter. I thought I'd try a new one, I'm never going to use this one again because now I'm in the university and I'm having to park like a block away. Luckily, it looks like it's free parking, so I should be okay. Then I got to go inside a bookstore and then find the locker. And I already drove by like where I should have set the pickup location. So I'm never going to do this again. All these like clean vehicles. It's another world here. The speed limit was 15 miles an hour. So you have to go real slow. It just takes way too long to pick up a package. You know, at least I cleaned up a little bit, but you can see like my shoes are pretty dirty. So I don't really fit in here. My filthy hands. I'm a camper. So I'm at the campus bookstore. I don't know how to get into this place. It says entrance over here. It says entrance right there. So does that mean that door? I'm trying to show you guys like how I like to be efficient. And this is not very efficient. It's cool that there are drop-off locations for Amazon packages. That really does help. But I'm gonna stick to my usual. I gotta find it. Hi, I'm just here to pick up from the Amazon locker.
Amazon lockers are going to be in the post office. Easy way to get there is there is Pepsi coolers up front. There's an elevator that'll take you down there.
Just go right through here?
Yep,
okay.
Right through here, and you'll see some coolers off to your right.
Okay.
Just keep heading forward, you'll bump right into an elevator.
Thank you. Okay. It's really clean in here. Okay, take the elevator to the post office. That one says employees only. There it is. It smells good in here, you guys. Okay. I'm just trying to get up to the... Is this how I get up to the post office?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Amazon lockers are located downstairs. Okay. Postal services. I could live in here. Freaking clean. It's funny seeing people wearing masks. Thank you, Edna, for your PayPal donation. That helped us get 2 parts, one for the truck and one for the trailer. And you guys will see me install those on an upcoming video. I think my haircut works here, you know. Like in the city, the university, I feel like that's the only part of me that maybe kind of fits in. The crazy haircut. Things that stick out to me, and probably to most nomads, is things like the dumpsters, free dumpsters. Now, I'm not going to use their dumpsters, mostly just because I know it's my luck. Security would come up and be like, "Sir, what are you dumping in our dumpsters?" But it is an option. But I have a plan for that, for dumping our garbage, which, well, I already told you guys. So we might be heading there next, or we might be heading to, we're gonna go to Walmart and Sam's Club, and I have really efficient ways there to get groceries, which I'll show you guys how I do that. Meanwhile, like, the dogs are waiting in here. That's one of the reasons I don't like to do like what I just did, because I don't like to leave the dogs in the truck. You know, in this case, they were only in here for 5 minutes. But I had no idea like how long it was going to take me, if I was going to find the place or whatever. Could have taken me longer. In that case, you know, I don't mind leaving them in the trailer because I can leave the windows like wide open. Here, you know, I leave them cracked. I leave the sunroof open a little bit. So we're getting water at this RV park. It's called Black Bart's, and it's a really awesome place. I only really come here to get water, but they also let me use their dumpsters too. So that's where we're going to get rid of this garbage. So for $5, I can fill up all my jugs back here. If I want to fill up the trailer as well, then it's $10. You know, overall, it's a pretty good deal. It's kind of expensive, I guess, but you know, they make a little money off of it. Actually, they probably make a lot of money off of it, but I don't mind. Another YouTuber, RVing with Luck, Ralph. Check out his channel, you guys. He told me this was the cheapest RV park if you want to stay here in Flagstaff. He also did say he didn't feel too comfortable here. But for me, it looks pretty awesome, you know. They're always really, really friendly in there. Sometimes they're not in the office. They say, yeah, it's fine. Just you can put your money in the little drop box, and if you don't have cash, then she even said that's okay too. You can just call us later and you can pay out over the phone. And one time I didn't have cash, and so I left them a note. I said, you know, I'll be back in 2 weeks to get water, so I'll pay you then. And so they actually held on to the note, and then when I got back here, they're like, oh, are you the black truck? This tool, I'll put a link to it. It's just a little adapter, and it allows you to shut off the water whenever you want to shut off the water as you're filling up. And this works great for the RV too, for the trailer. I think it's like $8, something like that. This little blue attachment here will actually clamp on to your jugs, but I use it to clamp on to the inlet on the trailer. And then that way you don't have to sit there holding it. You just turn the switch and let it fill up, and then go do something else. This works out really good here. Pretty cool. After, I think it's only been a week, I have 2 of these buckets full. It's crazy how much trash. And this bucket is 7 gallons. It's a little discombobulated in here right now. You know, I don't have the bike in here, so that's kind of the reason. Stuff kind of moves around. And then I added a new bucket. This is actually a new bucket. I took the lid off of this old bucket, which is where I would keep the dog food, the kibble, which I have half a bag of it right here. But I keep it in here, but you can see the bucket is just falling apart. It doesn't have any cracks in it yet, but every time I touch it, it's like sharp and stuff like that. So I decided to move the dog food into a new bucket, but they only had 5-gallon buckets. And luckily I had this lid on this bucket, which is a cool lid because you can sit on it and then it seals up really good. I think I'm going to need to get 2 of these, so I'll carry the dog food in 2 containers. That way I don't have to have like a half full bag laying around in the truck. Keeps it nice and sealed, keeps bugs from getting into it, because I have had bug issues one time before. And now we made it to Walmart. This is awesome because I don't have to go into the store. They bring it right out to me, and so I don't have to leave the dogs. And if I do have the trailer, what I do is I'll park deep in the parking lot with the trailer, like way back there. And you'll usually see areas where other trailers park, and RVs and stuff like that. And so I'll park back there, and then I'll just bring a shopping cart, and I'll come to the pickup location, and then I'll load all the groceries, or they'll load all the groceries into the shopping cart for me, and then I'll walk the cart back to the trailer. And that way, you know, I keep the dogs in the trailer in that case. So why do I do the pickup? It's easy. I do all the shopping from camp. I just plug in what I want to get, and you know, it keeps a running list of the stuff you bought last time. So it makes it really easy. I don't have to like write down a shopping list. I just go to the app and I just mark the stuff. You know, as the week goes on, I go, oh, I'm going to need some spinach, or I'm going to need some tomatoes, or whatever it is. Maybe there's something like, in this case, I needed treatment for the tanks. It's like this orange, I call it orange juice. It's like an orange liquid that you put into the tanks of of the RV. So I realized, oh, I'm almost out. So I just add that to my list on the app. I don't have to think about it after that. And then when I click the order, I get to pick the time that I come pick it up. And it just makes it super convenient. I don't have to go into the store. It saves me tons and tons of time. And you'll see when we go to Sam's Club, it's basically the same setup. And Sam's Club has better prices on some stuff. That's why I shop at both places, Walmart and Sam's Club. It's either Walmart and Costco or Walmart and Sam's Club. And here's the orange juice that I get. This stuff works pretty good for the tanks. Sam's Club. Yeah, it's kind of weird that I have a membership here because I'm just one person and I really only shop here a few months out of the year. But it does save me money and I like the stuff that they have here. And of course the stuff they have at Costco is really good, like high quality stuff. And I'm going to show you guys what I get. If I don't show it to you in this video, I'll show it to you in another video, exactly what I buy, because I think that'll be really helpful. And then you guys can also tell me what you think I should be getting. By the way, are you guys subscribed to the channel? Make sure you're subscribed. If not, click the subscribe button down below. A lot of you guys are watching and you're not subscribed. I think that's cool, but if you're not subscribed, you will miss our videos. We put out a lot of videos about full-time nomad lives. I checked in here using the Sam's Club app, and the membership here is like 50 bucks, just to give you an idea. And then they're gonna bring the stuff out to me, and they're gonna bring it out in these big cardboard boxes, just like they do at Costco. And that's kind of annoying. It's nicer if they have it in bags because I use the bags like they do at Walmart. Usually I just take the boxes. They say like, oh, you don't have to take the boxes. We can just load it one piece at a time, but then it's like kind of moving around. So it's kind of easier to keep it in the boxes. Then I'll have like these two chunky boxes just floating around in the bed of the truck that I gotta like manage and then eventually throw in the dumpster. They will load the stuff in your vehicle for you, but since I have the dogs and I usually don't put the food in the bed, I put it here right next to Echo. Echo manages the food. You can see it all right down there. See, so now I got these two chunky boxes full of food, and some of it's frozen, some of it's cold. I don't ever bring a cooler. If it was super hot, I might have like just a plastic bin set up, and then I would throw the frozen stuff in there. But generally, I'm only about 20, maybe 30 minutes at the most from camp, so even the frozen stuff holds up fine. I've never got gas at Sam's Club before. I thought it would be cheaper. It says it's $4.72, but if I head back to camp, there's a Pilot there, and I usually get 5 or 10 cents off, and right now it was $4.59, so it's actually cheaper if I go to the Pilot. I was hoping it'd be really cheap here. A lot of times I'll go to Costco, because they'll usually be a little bit cheaper than whatever the price is in town. There's no Costco here, so I don't have that option. And Pilots, Flying J's, and even like a Love's gas station, they'll generally have like kind of the best price you can find. It's pretty consistent. Not always, but it's pretty consistent. That's as cheap as you're gonna find it. I put out a video a little while ago where I was talking about how much it costs to be a nomad, like full-time traveling. And in that video, I was talking about how I don't always have to travel that often. If I like to camp in a certain, general area, there's rules like you have to drive like 25 or 35 miles for certain areas. What I did in this case is I don't think I bought gas since I left Quartzsite, because I've just been kind of putzing around. Like I don't have to drive too far to get to my next camping area. So gas was kind of expensive, but using the Pilot app does lower the cost a little bit, and just coming out to the Pilot gas station, it's just a lower price generally anyways. Now you have to use the app, and the app, it works pretty good, I guess, but it seems like every time I come to a Pilot, I have to download the new update for the app. So I have to sit in the truck, wait for it to download, and then I can use the app again and get my gas. So that's the only kind of downside. You know what I think I'm gonna do, you guys, is I think I'm gonna end this video here. I'm gonna show you guys as I approach our camp. There it is. But I just wanted to relay to you guys like how awesome it feels to come back from the city today, doing all those errands that we did. I mean, I'm just like putzing around, going from place to place, making sure the dogs are good and everything. And it was a smooth day. Everything went perfectly smoothly. Like perfect. And we got groceries. I'm like really excited about that. But to come back to just serenity and peace and quiet, it feels so freaking good. It's just the same feeling as if you owned a piece of property that was like secluded, like you had a cabin in the woods and it was your property, and you spend all day in town or in the city, and then you come back to your quiet, peace and quiet. Oh, this land is all mine. I get that same feeling. Now, you know, obviously I can't stay here forever. I have to leave after a couple weeks, but I get that feeling of coming back to just peace and quiet. So I'll show you guys all the groceries that we got in the next video. So make sure you're subscribed. I think that's, you know, some of you may not be interested, but it took me a long time to come up with the perfect things to get at those two grocery stores where I can mix and match certain things and stuff never goes bad, and then sometimes the dogs eat it. So I think you guys will like that video, so make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't click away yet because we're gonna head back into camp. I want you to see what that looks like.